Hello, just good. You're expecting another review, and today we're reviewing another Speedor set. Sorry I put this one out so late after I got it. I got it like basically 2 weeks ago, because I got it last Friday. And actually, it's almost 3 weeks ago, so that's kind of crazy. But this is set number 70110. It's called Tower Target. It's part of the LEGO Legends of Chima Speedorz line. It's recommended for ages 6 to 12. It has one minifigure, 96 pieces, and it retails for $15 in the US. And let's take a look at the packaging. So here's the blister packaging for his Speedor set, and you can see it has Grizzam's artwork in the top right corner, which is pretty nice. Kind of displays the set pretty well. But I don't like opening these now because I always end up ruining them, because LEGO used to have pretty good like outlines and stuff like that on the January and I think March waves of Speedorz. But starting in the summer waves, it's just been really hard to open because all they have is like this line and this line right here and stuff like that. So I literally have to tear it open. You can see I'm just ripping this stuff open just to get the Speedor out, and ripping this part right here because all they have is that line. It's really disappointing that they haven't fixed this, and I like keeping these boxes in, or not really boxes, but they're more blister packaging. I like keeping them in good condition, but now look at this. It just looks disgusting with all these rips. And so yeah, that really disappoints me. I'll still be keeping it, and next year they do have, it looks like, better packaging, so I'm hoping to see how those open and stuff like that. And now let's take a look at the cards of the set. And so here are the playing cards right here. You can see Grizzam's character card. You got Groundbreaker. It's not Groundbreaker, it's just Groundbreaker because they like adding O's. Furriator, again, they like adding the O's. Tree Hugger, not Tree Hugger, Tree Hugger X. And Java, like they always have, which thankfully does not have an O. And yeah, I also forgot to show this, but you also get this little instruction booklet right here, kind of typical instruction booklet-esque for the Speedor sets and whatever. And of course they show how to play the game and whatnot in the instruction booklet. So here's the Grizzam figure, and he's probably my favorite gorilla minifigure. I really do love his white fur or white hair or whatever all over his body. I think that's really nice. I do like his blue face because it's that shade of blue that looks really nice. And he does have some nice printing on his little mask or whatever you want to call it right there. And the cool thing is he does come with this weapon, and the only other part or only other set that this part right here in the middle comes in, or not really in the middle, but on the top middle, is Grizzam's Gorilla Striker, which is a $50 set. So obviously this is much cheaper to get this little piece in, which is kind of like a hammer or mallet fist looking thingy. So that's pretty cool. And this is his little weapon, which is this little hammer right here. And you also do get the spear, which is a plain dark brown spear. And then you can see the minifigure right here. He has some nice torso printing, nice leg printing. And here's his back, and you can see he has some nice back printing. Very nice mold on his head right there. I really do love the gorilla molds. I think they look really cool. And of course you could take off his headpiece or his mask piece or whatever you want to call it, and it reveals his face, which looks really nice, and his back face where he's kind of grinning right there. So not much variation on the bottom face prints, but it's still nice that we still get those bottom minifigure head prints or whatever you want to say. That's always an extra throw into the sets, and I think that's really cool that they do have that. So yeah, that's it for the Grizzam figure, and now onto the set itself. So here is Grizzam's Speedor, and you can see the printing on this side looks very nice. It looks a lot like Grizzam's, but the printing is slightly different. You can see this one has some vines and stuff like that, and that symbol is over here and not there. While Grizzam has kind of like these little, I guess, I don't even know what they are. It's basically Grizzam's blue, and you can see some metal right on Grizzam's, while this one just has the vines and the metal, and then that symbol is right there instead of being right there. So that is kind of interesting that they did change it up, and it is very cool that they did that, because it's always nice to get some variation. The front right here, you can kind of see the little gorilla face right there, and no front printing, kind of like all the other Speedorz. And you also get this side printing right here, which is basically identical on both sides. And his little weapon isn't really anything except this part right here. So a little bit disappointed with that, but I don't really mind because the weapons, sometimes I take them off because they just kind of not balance it. So that's fine. And this one kind of helps it balance, so I guess that's pretty nice. And now you could also see this little ripcord right here, which is the yellow ripcord. Would have been cool if we got like a blue ripcord or whatever, but it's still pretty fine. And of course you can rip the ripcord in the Speedor by just pulling it like that, and they always run pretty smooth. So now let's take a look at the set. Okay, so here's the set itself, and of course you do get your little 6 chi crystals, which are always nice to get. I have so many of these now since I have basically all the Speedor sets except 30, which I'm trying to look for. And you can see this little target right here, and we'll explain how that works with the game later. And this part right here, which looks really out of place, but it does work with the game, so I understand why they put that there. And you can see it's just basically kind of like a tree grotto looking like section right there. And here's the side part and the back part. This piece in this color is actually pretty rare because it only comes in this set, the Ewok Village, and the Town Hall set, which are the other two are really expensive sets, which one of them is 200 and one of them is 250. So that's kind of cool that we do get it in this set, which is a $15 set in the US at least. And I mean, the piece itself isn't rare, but the piece in that color is rare. And you can see the back, there's not really much to detail here. And the front, again, these pieces right here are pretty rare because they only come in much more expensive sets like Weathertop, Krager's Command Ship, and the Tower of Orthink, which is pretty cool that we do get it in a $15 set. Always nice to get pieces like this in cheaper sets, especially Speedorz sets. And of course, I'll show the game right now, or actually, I'll show the top part right there, you can see that. And so how you play the game, or at least how it shows it in the instruction booklet, is whoever hits it gets to flip their card, and if both players hit it, whoever gets a higher rating on here gets to flip their card. So let's see how high I could get it on this little scale right here, which is pretty nice. There you go. I barely got it because it's like not staying, and I keep on hitting the walls. So that's my Speedor skills right there. Let's see if I can get it. There you go. I got it really high right there. So that's really nice. I got it on the yellow, which is the highest rating. So congrats to me. And let's see if I was playing it with another person. And you got to reset it just by pushing this pop part right down right there. And of course, the reason that it does that is because this meter puts it up right here. You can see there's this little back part, which is kind of like a Technic piece, and it pushes that part up depending on your force from the Speedor. So that's pretty cool. And let's see, I'm going to try it one more time to see how far, if I was like competing with somebody else, they would get it. And there you go, they wouldn't get it that far because that was a really bad Speedor run. So yeah, that's it, and now let's take a look at the final verdict. Overall, this is actually a very strong Speedor set. If you had to get a few Speedor sets, I would say this one, the one with Skinnet for Skinnet, and the one with Ferdy for Ferdy. And this one in particular is strong because the pieces in here. You get this little piece right here, and this piece, which is kind of like a mallet shaped a little bit like a fist. It only comes in this set and Wars' Combat Lair, which is a $70 set. The same could be said with Grizzam because he only comes in this set and Wars' Combat Lair. Again, this is a $15 set in the US. That's $55 cheaper, which is just crazy. And you can see this little Speedor right here, the Speedor, I call them like the helmet, the Speedor helmet, even though that's not exactly what they're called. But the Speedor helmet right there, I love it because it's translucent and it is exclusive to the set. It is very similar to Gorzan's, but I like this one better because of the translucent blue. So that's nice, and this little piece is nice. And then you get this nice archway right here. And that archway only comes in this set, Ewok Village, and the Town Hall set, which both of those sets, the previous sets besides this set, are $200 and $250. So yeah, this is much less expensive than that. Also, this piece right here on the front, this little part right here, this piece right here in this color, and the same goes with the other one. In the archway, it's only to this color. Of course, the archway is a common piece, but in that color, it only comes in that, and then the Town Hall and the Ewok Village. And then this little slip right here, that piece only comes in this set, the Tower of Orthink, Krager's Command Ship, and Attack on Weathertop. So obviously this is much cheaper than this one, even though there's not much of a difference between $15 and $60 compared to like the Town Hall and stuff like that. But again, it's another kind of rare piece that you get in the set, which is very cheap. And so yeah, the build itself isn't the strongest build, but I do like the play feature a little bit. I don't like this color right here, but I know why they included it, because it kind of makes it that cool little play feature where if you hit it, it ranks it. So I think this is probably one of the more fun Speedorz, and not saying that other Speedorz aren't fun, but this is probably one of the most fun Speedorz, because the other ones, while they're pretty fun, I really enjoyed playing with this one, even though I had nobody to play with. But of course this isn't perfect. The price per piece ratio isn't perfect. It's only like, what is it, 96 pieces for $15, and the build itself, like I said, isn't the most attractive looking build, but it is very fun. I love the pieces, so I'll have to give this an A. I think this is a great Speedor. If you want to get a Speedor, get this one, the Skinnet one, the Ferdy one, because all three of these have really nice pieces. I mean, really nice minifigures, but I really love the pieces in this one too. I think this one is probably the strongest piece-wise Speedor set. And so yeah, I just saw pictures of the 2014 Speedorz. They don't look that good. I mean, the minifigures are pretty cool, but that's just about it. Even Shadowwind, they showed Shadowwind. He's just, I don't want to spoil it, so spoilers alert if you don't want to hear who Shadowwind is, but Shadowwind is just another lion. Really? Another lion? Well, I mean, that was in the preliminaries, but I mean, come on, just another lion? That's not fun. I'm tired of these lions. Make him, like, just put his helmet in the set or something like that. But yeah, that's it for the set, and I will see you guys later. Bye.